And then after I graduated from Livingstone College, was offered a job at Corriher Lipe. And that was very much in the middle of integration. And I had taken my students to lunch one day, and when we came back, I went to my desk and there was a note there, and it said, well, I simply looked down at that note, and my students knew something was amiss, and they said, "Miss Straughter, what is that?" And I said, "It's a note. Somebody left me a note." They said, "Well, what does it say? What does it say?" I said, "Well, it says that you are being watched by the KKK." And I looked at that note and read it to them, and they said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm not scared." And I said, "Scared." I said, "I only own a car and a sewing machine, and they're not getting either one. So let's just go ahead and have class." So I remember those things, and I never wanted my students to be afraid of anything or to know that I was afraid for them, because they looked at me as being their support, their leader, and their friend. So I wasn't going to put them in danger, and they would never allow danger to come upon me. But those were things, just a couple of things that I remember vividly. And I often tell that story about my students and that note. And maybe I should have kept that note, but at that time, it was something that I simply threw away because I didn't want my students to know that I was going to look at that and cherish that, because that was nothing that I wanted to remember at that time. But as I look back now, it helped make me a better teacher and a stronger person. And I think that if we let things like that hinder us from being who we can really be, then we give up, and the enemy wins. And when the enemy wins, then we lose everything. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to lose anything.